And it'd be 2 for down, 3 for up, 1 to stop if you're in motion.
You can still hear the echoes of a coal mining era that has come and gone in Cape Breton. Sheldon Guthrow worked underground for 32 years before everything got shut down in 2001.
Supervisors would carry canes, sticks, and that's what they would do. They would hit on the coal, or mostly on the roof, because they tap the roof to make sure that the roof's not going to fall down on top of you.
He now gives tours of the ocean's deep's colliery to help keep its history alive.
They put him in the cage and they walk in with the little canary. And the little canary's lungs being so small, it wouldn't take very much gas. He's going to start showing you some kind of signs that there's something wrong.
Coal was first mined in Cape Breton by French soldiers who were building the fortress of Louisbourg.
We've been mining coal and burning coal and exporting coal from that day, well, right up until the year 2001, when all our coal mines closed.
Coal mining had been taken over by the government in 1967, and coal plants would run on the domestic supply to power Nova Scotia. The instability of oil prices in the 70s made going with coal a stable option.
There was 12,000 coal miners here. At one time here, the island was booming over coal mining and steel making. Today, she's all gone.
Despite the mine closures in 2001, Nova Scotia Power continues to burn imported coal at its plants to this day.
Nova Scotia Power buys it wherever it is cheapest, and that's their obligation, is to find the lowest cost fuel resource. So a lot does come from Latin America as well. I think Venezuela was a long supplier, but I think it's wherever the price is best at the day they need to buy it.
David Miller is Nova Scotia's Director of Electricity Policy and Programming. The province recently announced plans to phase out the use of coal by the year 2030, a move cheered by environmentalists. But there's a lot of money still tied up in the coal plants.
We keep reinvesting them to keep them operating because we can't just let them become decrepit over time. Otherwise, we run the risk of losing power in the winter. So at present, there's about $900 million worth of investments in those coal plants that has yet to be kind of used up over time. So it's a very large amount of money that we have to figure out how to manage as we transition away from these coal plants over the next 10 years.
Keith Collins says the transition is moving quickly.
It was 80% about a decade ago. It's down to 50 now. And as soon as the full new hydroelectricity supplies come on from Newfoundland, we'll be down to around 30.
While some other Canadian provinces managed to wean themselves off coal much earlier, Collins says Nova Scotia is in a unique situation.
Well, we're still using coal. Historically, we had coal, so we used it. But the other thing is we're functionally an island, an electricity island. The natural gas system isn't well developed through Nova Scotia, nor are the big transmission lines. Primarily don't come down into the province. We only have one connection right now. So building up greater transmission connections up through to New Brunswick and Quebec and over to Newfoundland has been a key part of us looking at planning to get completely off coal.
Guruprasad Gurumurthy is the Energy Coordinator for Renewables and Electricity Policy at the Ecology Action Centre in Halifax. His job is to look at new ways Nova Scotia can be decarbonized.
Burning coal basically causes greenhouse gas emissions. It's a direct correlation, and scientists all over the world have established that correlation for better part of 30-40 years now. Yet this understanding that we can somehow get away with just burning it for now and we'll take care of it in the future, it doesn't really make sense because the science is very, very sure. If you burn coal, you're warming the earth significantly, and that is going to cause damage not just in the short term, but also in the long term.
The fastest method and the lowest cost method for us to get off coal is to build wind in Nova Scotia. The cost of wind globally has fallen incredibly quickly, and we have an RFP just going out the door that'll see over $500 million in new investment in new wind spread around the province, and a lot of it owned locally and by First Nations.
You sitting in the cage there?
For the time being, Sheldon Guthrow will continue to heat his home in Cape Breton with coal.
When the mine shut down, the government had an agreement. They said, well, if anybody's burning coal, we used to have a coal card, okay, and they would give us cheap coal. So they had to honor that agreement. So you know what I get my coal for? $7 a ton. And guess what? Now that the coal mines are closed down here, they're importing that coal. I'm saying they're probably paying $250 a ton for it, and they still got to give it to us for $7 a ton.